welcome to my YouTube channel. I'm Sarah Paul, or Tammy Mum. I'd really love it if you'd hit the subscribe button for more of our videos. It's still quite a new channel, but hopefully you'll like what we've got so far. This one today is all about what we're going to put in our long haul cabin bag for a flight, or a short haul flight. You could just select the bits you need. And it's also, this one doubles up a little bit in that we're going on a transatlantic cruise from Southampton to the Caribbean, and it does mean we are at sea for, I think it's something like 9 days, maybe 8 days with 1 day on land in the middle, and that's in the Azores in Portugal. Whilst we're really excited, that is a lot of sea days, and we are going with 2 children who are 3 and 4. This particular cruise is with P&O, so they do have a kids club, and we will of course be making the most of that, but it's not one of those cruise liners like Royal Caribbean where they have an entire deck full of swimming pools and activities and arcade games and everything for them. There are things for them to do, there's a cinema and there are activities throughout the day, and there will be swimming pools, but there will also be a lot of downtime where it's down to us to entertain them, rightly so. So I've packed a lot of things to try and keep them entertained, which both of these, I want them all to fit in a cabin bag because I don't want to overload our suitcases and everything that we've got with the kids' entertainment and toys and things that they might not get loads of use out of. So the idea is to try and take a lot of travel friendly things to keep them busy, which will double up for the long haul flight, and hopefully a lot of these we will keep for the long haul flight home back from Barbados, which I think is around about 8 hours. Obviously I'm not an expert on entertaining kids on flights, that's not something we do every day, but we have been really lucky in that we have gone on a lot of holidays and we have been required to entertain them a lot of times on flights. So it is something that over the last 4 years we have perfected to a way that really works for us, and hopefully you'll get some tips from it or some inspiration of things that you might want to include in your kids pack. You might not be all of it, but just maybe 1 or 2 things, so hopefully it will be helpful for you. Okay, so firstly I'm just going to tell you about these bags. They perhaps are not my first choice of travel bag for the children for the flight. We are taking them on a long haul flight and they are going to be cabin friendly, or cabin size approved should I say. I did want some of the slightly more chic, lightweight luggage cases for example, or just some slightly, I don't know, slightly different ones I had in mind. But like I said, I'm trying to do this as cost effectively as possible, and both my children wanted these ones and they were only £10 each from Sports Direct, and actually they are going to be just fine. They're going to do the job we need them to do. And what I did find with the luggage cases, for example, those super lightweight ones, they open from the front that way, and actually it makes it difficult because if you're on a flight you have to bring it up and put it on your lap and then fish through for what you want, whereas with these you can actually just have them down on your feet still and have a rummage through to see what it is you want. So I think these will be fine, and actually we can get a lot in these, perhaps even more so than some of the luggage ones. So I'm quite happy with these. They've got both straps on the back and a handle so you can pull them like that. I imagine we'll end up carrying them a lot of the time, but for now I think these are great, and like I said, £10 from Sports Direct, so can't really go wrong. As for what we're going to put in them, firstly, and perhaps most importantly, both my children are lucky enough to have iPads, which is a bit mental at 3 and 4, but they are both mine and their dad's old ones. We've since got newer ones, so they've ended up having them. They'll be loaded with games and TV programmes. They've got the CBeebies app where they'll probably have Tops in Tim on no end. Might download a couple of films for them. But what I would say, without a doubt, is these headphones are a must. They can't really hear anything on a flight without them, so the iPad then becomes redundant. Honestly, they were £10 each, and they were the best money we've ever spent in terms of travel because they really do keep them engaged on the iPad, and you're not interrupting everybody else's flight with Peppa Pig, so excellent value. In terms of my daughter's bag, you will notice quite a theme. I've got a lot of sticker books and activity books. Again, you know, 79p, like I said, I'm trying to do it cost effectively. I've got a lot of the wipe clean books. She's just started school, so she's really into writing and practicing her letters and numbers. So these books will be perfect for that. I have actually got 2 of these. This one didn't come with a pen, so it was really cheap, so I brought it anyway. And like I said, we're going to be at sea for about 7 days in total. Actually, I think it's more than that. So more the merrier, as far as I'm concerned. Some other activity books. These ones are great because they have games and puzzles inside, and different things to keep them entertained. It's not all just tracing letters. And they really do enjoy doing things like that. So hopefully that will kill a few hours. And they're great on flights as well, because you just put your tray table down and you're away. She's also got this one, which is a bit like a Where's Wally book, but in it you find the animals, the silly animals. It normally keeps them entertained for quite a long time. They do really enjoy it. So hopefully that will buy us a few hours solitude on the flight. We've also got a card game, Snap. It was £2. They really enjoy card games, and Snap, no doubt, I know, is a huge success, so that'll be fun for them. And she's got Ben and Holly's Little Kingdom giant cards. Now, these are about £5 from Amazon. Not the cheapest, but you do get 4 games to play in them, including Giant Snap, Nanny Plum, Memory and Go Fish. I don't know what the 4th one is, but no doubt we will find out. So that's largely her bag. What I have got, this is more of a universal activity for them, but this is 100 things for little children to do on a journey. This is from Amazon, again, about £5, but really good activities, whether you're on a car journey, a flight, a train, anywhere. There's so many things for them to do, and they'll end up fighting over it because they'll both want one, but I refuse to buy 2. But there's loads of things for them, definitely worth purchasing, especially if you're going on some long haul travel like we are. My son's bag, is similar. He has a lot of activity books, perhaps ones he might enjoy more than the Princess Sophia one, but actually he probably would like to do that. He's got the Lion King ones. He too's got some wipe clean pirate puzzles and games. They really, really like, whilst I've got this open, things like this one here. I don't know why, they don't always do them very well or even correctly, but they just think they're hilarious to try and get from one end to the other, and I don't know, it just keeps them happy, so I keep buying them. He too has a dinosaur, Where's Wally, that should hopefully keep him entertained quite a long time. He's got a mini Lego set. You'll notice it says ages 5 to 8 and its price was £1.27. Price was the reason I brought it largely, but they do like building Lego, and I think with my help it'll kill some time and they will really enjoy doing it. They'll probably end up fighting over that again. Perhaps I should have bought 2 at that price, but there we go, I didn't. He's got a card game as well. It says here it's a storytelling card game, which was from Mothercare. That's why I brought it. I wouldn't perhaps have bothered with a storytelling card game, but I'm sure we can find some, whether it's Snap or whether we tell stories, I don't know, I'm sure we'll find a use for it at 85p. I've also brought, and I don't normally buy these sort of things for a flight, this is more so for the cruise element of our trip, but I don't see why you couldn't take them on a flight. I know this looks big at the start. It's 2 games for £10, I'll show you the other game in a minute. But if you look inside, you've got Snakes and Ladders, which comes in individual pieces. So if you just take the innards out and take that, it's actually going to be a really small game. Obviously you couldn't really play this on the flight because you'd have to put this together and your tray table's not going to be big enough. But for us on the ship, it will be a game for us to play. Also, you could play it in an airport, especially if you're delayed, God forbid, and waiting a long time. Or just when you're on your holiday, sometimes you need an activity for them that isn't running around in the pool because, I don't know, it's night time maybe. Folds out really small, you put it in your suitcase, won't take any extra weight. I think it's an excellent idea. You've got your dice there and your counters, and it does have another activity book, but obviously we're not short on activity books. So I will take this one, and actually I think it probably end up in the travel bag for when we're on the ship. I have high hopes for it anyway. The second game I've brought is Frustration. It's Cars Frustration, so which is always a hit because both my children like Disney cars. But what's good about it is the only real piece you don't want to lose, obviously, is the counters. You can't lose the dice. There's no bits and bobs you need to put together. It is all just this single tray. And again, it's really lightweight and doesn't take up all that much room. It'll fit quite nicely in their luggage bags. And I don't see why we couldn't play it on the plane or again in the airport. And again, we will definitely play it on the ship, I imagine. Or just on any holiday. I think it's quite an easy travel game to take. Again, it's up to you whether you'd really want to bother, but for me, I think we'll give it a go. I do have just a couple of extra activity books. Again, largely due to the price. I mean, that one was £1 and that one was £2. Mostly for my daughter because she is, like I said, really into writing and at school at the moment, and it's just something to keep her busy on the long sea days that we've got. Other things that I will put in here that I haven't yet will include some colouring pencils, because there are pages in here that require colouring in, a notepad so we can do free writing. My daughter is, like I said, practising letters all the time. It's not unusual that she started at 6:30 in the morning. So I'll put a notepad for their pencils, they can just do their writing. And some snacks. There will be a lot of snacks. Snacks are essential for any travel, especially long haul flights or short haul flights for that matter. It'll be anything from a tube of Pringles, raisins, the organics OT bars. They really still like those Ella's Kitchen smoothie pouches, so I'll probably put some of those in. What else do they like? Oh, there will be some chocolate in there. I also sometimes get them the sugar-free Chubba Chup lollipops for takeoff and landing, just because of their ears, and also it does sort of keep them a bit quiet because they do get really excited even though they've been on a billion flights now. So we'll have that, and for a long haul flight I would also normally pack a blanket. I'm not going to this time because we're only doing one flight and there will be one provided, but I will probably pack one of their comforters. My son takes George Pig everywhere. My daughter's a bit more flippant and less loyal to her toys, so I'll let her choose which one she wants to take. But other than that, hopefully that should keep us entertained on an 8-hour flight back from Barbados and a good 8 or 9 sea days, I hope. Let's see.